Alright, I think we can get a little bit nervous now. Ever since Coach Prime landed in Boulder, Colorado, he has shaken up the way that college football teams are structuring their teams. You see, Coach Prime inherited a 1-11 football team that completely needed to be revamped. And Coach Prime joined major college football at the perfect time, at the precipice of NIL. With NIL being in full force and the transfer portal being completely relaxed, Coach Prime was able to completely change his Colorado Buffaloes team overnight. However, I think Coach Prime is starting to learn the very harsh reality of this new college football world. Yesterday, the early period for players to hit the transfer portal happened, and 10 Colorado Buffaloes hit the portal. Colorado is losing a ton of talent that they had that contribute to their improved season last year, losing guys like safety Miles Slusher, losing offensive tackle Savion Washington, interior offensive lineman David Connor, but no bigger miss than they are going to have than their former 5-star corner and the #1 corner in his recruiting class, Cormani McClain. Now, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see that there was a lot of smoke happening between Cormani McClain and the Colorado Buffaloes. You see, there was a lot of parallels between Travis Hunter and Cormani McClain, with them both coming out of high school. They were both the #1 cornerback in their class, both 5-star recruits, both top 10 players in their class. They both ended up following Coach Prime to the respective schools. Everybody thought that Cormani McClain was going to do exactly what Travis Hunter did. But you see, Travis Hunter has a much more humble personality off the field. It looks like Cormani McClain has fallen in love with more of the fame than Travis Hunter did. And even though Cormani McClain is listed as a 4-star transfer prospect and one of the best available players in the portal, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of schools really vying for Cormani McClain's talents because of just the off-field antics that he seems to be bringing around him. But here are all 10 of the players that Colorado lost to the transfer portal on the opening day alone. They lost 4-star transfer corner Cormani McClain, wide receiver Jacob Page, wide receiver Tavares Dawson, defensive lineman Zach Blackwood, interior offensive lineman David Connor, interior offensive lineman Isaiah Jada, edge rusher DeVee Harris, offensive tackle Savion Washington, safety Jaden Milner-Jones, and defensive lineman Chaz Wallace. Most of the players that I mentioned gave quality minutes to the Buffaloes last season, and the Buffaloes were a much improved team. However, with the spring game coming around, most of these players know whether or not they're going to be starting. And we're in a new age of college football where if you're not starting, you're going to hit the portal and go somewhere else. And with the allure of NIL contracts and these big schools promising massive amounts, life-changing amounts of money to these teenage kids, college, yeah, the opening day of the transfer portal is going to be a frenzy. But Deion doesn't want to play the who has the bigger wallet game with the recruits. Here's what he had to say about the NIL situation going on in college football. I don't attract those type of players. I attract the type of player that wants to be great, that understands he has a window of opportunity and he has to have a commitment to excellence. There are players who are playing for a bag, which growing up in the environment, you can't blame them. You can't fault them. If you're going to give up a bag, you're going to have players playing for a bag. So I do understand it. I may not condone that's your focus because I've always thought that if you just focus on being great, the bag is gonna find you. Now, I am gonna give a little bit of pushback to what Coach Prime said. He said, I don't attract those type of players, meaning he's saying that he is not attracting the type of players that are looking for a bag. Now, I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback because you kind of do. I mean, it's synonymous. Coach Prime with Prime Time, The Flash. Everybody was thinking that, oh, I'm gonna go to Colorado, I'm gonna generate a bunch of buzz around myself. But at the end of the day, it's the collectives that are the ones that are paying most of these college football players, not the schools themselves. And I don't know how big of a collective that Colorado has for their players. Coach Prime is now having to establish the fact that that is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to bring young men in and develop them into better football players and better men. But a lot of players, they're not looking for that. They're looking for a place that they can go, get some quality playing time, but make the biggest money that they possibly can. A lot of players, they're gonna hurt their football careers by doing that. But a lot of them, they're going to be able to kind of do just fine. They'll go from school to school, collecting the biggest check possible, and then they'll still be first-round draft picks. But Coach Prime is not building up his teams that way. He's going and he's taking the players that maybe were overlooked, as these big-name schools start paying more and more money for especially high school recruits. There's going to be a lot of players that they're not going to start because there's a high school senior that is supposed to be getting $1 million from them next year, and they're going to start him, which means that there's going to be a lot of talent and a lot of promising talent in the transfer portal. And Coach Prime has shown that, hey, you can quickly turn around a team in the transfer portal. Now, do I think that that's going to be a long-term and viable solution for Colorado? No. They only signed 6 players in their 2024 recruiting class from the high school ranks. They need to get a lot stronger in the high school recruiting game, and they need to find a way to maintain the talent that they do have. It can't just be Shedeur Sanders, the son of Coach Prime. It can't be Travis Hunter, who just has this inherent tie-in with Coach Prime. It has to be players that are coming and staying for what Coach Prime is building over there. Now, I do think that Colorado is going to continue to win, and they're going to be a school that, especially going to the Big 12, which is probably now tied with the ACC as being the weakest of the Power 5 conferences. Colorado could make a nice little 4 or 5 year run at being the Big 12 champion every single year now that Oklahoma and Texas aren't in there. Coach Prime is building some things up, but losing a lot of talent like this just immediately on day one of the transfer portal opening up, it is a little bit disheartening. But we haven't even talked about all the players that Coach Prime is bringing in. I believe that all the players that he lost to the transfer portal are going to be more than made up from the players that he's already brought in, plus all the players that he's going to be picking up from the portal here over these next couple of days. Honestly, people are going to make a lot bigger deal about it than it actually is. They're going to be, oh, this is the end of Colorado. Coach Prime is done. All these players are leaving. At the end of the day, we knew that the opening day of the transfer portal was going to be hectic. We knew that a lot of players were probably going to be leaving Colorado because a lot of players flocked into Colorado thinking that they were just going to get a big spotlight put on them, and then they realized that they actually had to go out there and fight for their spot and earn their depth chart spot, and not just be able to act a fool and not just go there just for the hype, but that Coach Prime is actually going to demand something from you. A lot of players went there to chase a bag, to chase the fame, and then they realize that that's not what Colorado was about, and then they're gonna leave. I think that what Coach Prime is doing is he's just week in and week out crafting the culture that he wants at Colorado, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, if you watch any of the well-off media videos, you see how he talks with his players. He's leveling with them week in and week out, building them up to be great. I'm excited to see what Colorado looks like. I'm excited to watch their spring game here in the next week or two. So I need all y'all to comment your thoughts down below. What do you think of Colorado losing 10 players to the transfer portal on the opening day of the portal? Comment your thoughts down below. Do you guys think this is overhyped? I personally think it's overhyped. I think with the amount of talent that they brought in from the portal, I think that it's going to more than make up for the talent that they're losing to the portal. But I want to hear from y'all. Comment your thoughts down below. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications. I love and appreciate each and every single last one of y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.